Window. Good evening, friends. Welcome, welcome. I would like to thank all of you for joining us tonight. Tonight is a very, very special evening. We will hearing Brett Smith, our very distinguished speaker on Echoes of the Soul, the artist's journey in the Baha'i faith. Brett, as I'm sure all of you know him, but I have to introduce him. Otherwise, you would say that I don't understand what does bio mean. So, uh, Brett Smith is a member of the band Smith and Dragaman, and he has co-released four beautiful albums that attempt to capture some of the amazing stories and events that have taken place throughout the early history of the Baha'i faith. Professionally, Brett works for BTS, a management consulting company, and focuses on the development of leadership cultures in the corporate world. But that is not all. I hope Brett does not think that I will finish now. Brett is a devoted father, a magnificent father, a great husband, and a great community member. And for everyone that I want to wish something very grandiose, I would wish for him or her to be the community member with Brett. Brett can be a wonderful friend, the most kind, and considerate friend. And all of you who live in the same community with him, we feel very blessed. And Brett, I know you hate me. Your face is saying that, but go ahead.
All right. Thank you, Farouz. That's it? That was pretty good. Thank you. You're very sweet, very kind, and I'm so happy to be here. And it's funny. I was looking back at the speakers, and I guess it didn't occur to me that Jack Lenz was just on 2 weeks ago, talking about art and music and so on. So I don't know. Hopefully, this lands well for people. Thanks for the invitation. I'm very happy to be here, and I've done something a little different tonight. So it's not just going to be music. But I will definitely weave music in. But this was a good opportunity actually for me to really think about this topic. And I want to just put it out there right now that this is not going to be a master class in all things about what it means to be an artist in the Baha'i faith and so on, because we're always learning, always learning. But it gave me the opportunity to really corral a lot of quotations together and kind of put it in a structure that might be helpful for some of you to think about whether you consider yourself an artist or not. So I have a bunch of slides. So let me just set up my screen share. Okay. All right. Is that good? Is everyone seeing one screen? Okay. So right off the top, this is the cover of one of Pink Floyd's album. So I loved it. It's a man on a canoeish type thing, and he's actually going across the clouds. And Pink Floyd is a big influence in my life. Echoes of the Soul, the artist journey in the Baha'i faith. That sounds very lofty and regal. Let's see how we can tackle that. I put this here right at the outset because this is actually the words of Baha'u'llah, the prophet founder of the Baha'i faith. And one thing that many of you, I'm sure, have noticed in reading the Baha'i writings is that they are so much more than just words on a page or instructions for how to live, but they're so beautiful and poetic at the same time. I was thinking this morning, I was listening to um, one of the Baha'i prayers called the Fire Tablet. And I was thinking, this is just such a beautifully poetic, majestic, symbolic, inspirational prayer, right? Not just words. And so I wanted to read this to kind of get us in the mode. So this is from, and excuse my pronunciation, it's called the Rashi Ahma, The Clouds of the Realms Above by Baha'u'llah. It says, behold the palm of paradise. Behold the warbling of the dove. Behold the glorious hymns that in the purest light are raining down. Behold the soul entrancing song. Behold the beating of the drum. Behold the sacred rhythms that from our hand are raining down. Beautiful, right? So as a musician, I'm drawn to this. And I'm sure you don't have to be a musician, but just looking at some of the words in here, soul entrancing song, hymns, warbling of a dove, a beating of the drum, the rhythms. I mean, it's phenomenal how they're expressed, how he's expressing himself here. So I wanted to start with that. So a bit of an intro, and then we'll jump into it. So, you know, I like to think that we're all artists in a sense. And some of us might consider ourselves more artistic than others, and that might be the case because I think there's innate capacity that people are born with, and some people work at it and so on. But I also believe that we are made in the image of God, as was said in the Bible, and part of that image is creator. And so we have the ability to create, which I think is a beautiful concept. And I think it's a gift that we have to create, and that if we can tap into that, we're accessing a part of our soul that might be dormant and might want to find expression in something. So, and that can look and feel very different for different people. So it could be the obvious ones that come to mind for arts are dancing and film and art and photography and poetry, music. But then we think of other things, interior design, how beautifully you set up your room, how you tend to your garden, right? Architecture, pottery, knitting. So there's all these things where you're creating things. And so I wanted to couch it in that broader sense of art, that this is not just for people that write books and write songs and so on. This is not a master class, as I said. I am by far not an expert, but I have some thoughts and I have a bit of experience just in my musical journey and having the bounty of working with the band members of Smith and Dragoman, in particular Mike Dragoman, and having spent countless hours just talking about concepts around music and inspiration and the purpose of things and how to elevate the soul through music and so on. So the structure of this is going to be, I'm going to talk at a high level on 5 themes that I think are all kind of related to this idea. And at the beginning of each topic, I'm going to present a claim. I'm going to make a strong claim. And then I'm going to guide us through some quotations, add a little bit of color to that based on my own experience and some thoughts. Then I'm going to provide some key learnings, again, that I've experienced. Then I'm going to pose some questions, but they're rhetorical. But I would recommend that you think about them. And if you're interested, take a screenshot of those questions because they're all about how we as artists should be contributing to the world civilization. And then after the end of each section, I'll play a song. And hopefully I'll be able to control everything here. So here are the 5 topics: the power and purpose of art, the source of artistic creativity, the artist as a builder of civilization, the role of the heart, and the future of art and the artist's responsibility. All right, let's dive in. So here's my first claim. Art is not a luxury. It is an essential force that uplifts the human soul and transforms civilization. So not a luxury, but a force. So to me, what this means, what I'm saying here is that it is a necessary part of the human experience and of the building of civilization. It is not an afterthought. It's always been a vehicle. When we look in the history books, art has always been a vehicle for transformation, for movement. We've seen it through great literature. We've seen it through, revolutions that happen and where music is involved and so on. What it does is it serves as a mirror that shows both the beauty of the world and its struggles. It gives us this impression, this interpretation of our reality right in front of us. But what it does is it awakens something deep within us, and it really makes the unseen visible. So it has a very powerful role. What I like to think is that true art is something that really uplifts our souls, and that it's not just mere entertainment. And I think there's a big divide there between am I making music, or am I creating this to entertain and to create diversion, or am I doing this to uplift, to build, and so on? And so some might view art as just a decoration or a diversion, but it's much more than that. How do we raise consciousness through art? How do we challenge our assumptions through art? How do we inspire change through art? And lastly, I'll say on this topic, art can give a form to unspoken emotions. It can give form to spiritual truths and a vision of a better world. So it has this mysterious capacity to tap into something that might be harder to tap into with our rational mind. It has an ability to penetrate at a deeper level and make those connections, which is why we see, particularly in music, in my experience, the power of a song to unite. It's phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal. So there's really something quite mysterious there. So it's really a motivating force in the shaping of reality. So a couple of quotations. Art testifies. Oh, sorry. Let me preface this. So I did a presentation about 5 years ago, or maybe more now, and I was Googling and looking at TED Talks, and I came across this person, Katerina Gregos, and she has a great TED Talk on the role of art. And she's a writer, she's a curator, she's a lecturer, born in Athens, and now she's in Brussels. And so I really liked her, how she sort of framed up the role of art. And so I'm going to use some of her talking points. So she says, art testifies to the power of human imagination, to reflect and to dream, to ponder on not only how things are, but how they should be. So I love that. And especially, as we're thinking about our role in life and humanity and civilization, thinking about the how things should be, and are we contributing to that vision of a better future? She says, it's impossible to quantify or qualify how art affects those who see it, because it works in mysterious ways. And as we're going through this, I'd love you to think about a song or a piece of art you've seen or an experience you've had, and think about how it impacted you and what it did to your soul, your emotions, and so on. Think of those things. Have those things at the front of your thinking. Art doesn't change the world on a macro level, but on a micro level. It changes things in very subtle ways. It's a form of soft power. I love that. Subtle ways. Art says, I make the world. I don't simply inherit it. Powerful. Artistic creativity should be a major part of culture and society. They're integral to the human spirit. So we can see here in her summary and her analysis that art plays a major role in creating society, in building the society around us, in helping us think about a better world and so on. It's not sort of this passive thing, but it needs to be brought to the forefront amongst all of the other things that are happening. It has a very, very important role to play. Here's some quotations from the writings. Well, here's one from Baha'u'llah. The arts, crafts, and sciences uplift the world of being and are conducive to its exaltation. I mean, that's amazing. Like, let's just pause for a second. Arts, crafts, and sciences uplift the world and are conducive to its exaltation. So again, like that's a weighty statement. If I'm an artist or if I'm a scientist or craftsperson, like this is something that I can use to help exalt the station of humanity. And then I like this one from Picasso. The purpose of art is washing the dust of daily life off our souls. What a beautiful sentiment to think that a beautiful song or a painting or whatever can wash the dust off our souls. It should be there. It should refresh us. It should elevate us. It should make us feel dignified. So key takeaways for this section. Art's not just for entertainment. It has the power to transform individuals and societies. Art speaks in ways that words alone cannot. It awakens the soul and expands consciousness. True art cleanses and refreshes the soul, lifting us out of routine and into higher awareness. So you see, like, there's a lot of connection between art and the soul, and we're going to dig into that a bit more. But that's where I think it really plays. I think it's the soul that's connecting with these things. And then some questions for reflection. Again, these are not meant to be answered here and now or by me for that matter. They're just something for you to think about that you might take back with you and think about. So one is, if art has the power to elevate the soul, what kind of art are we filling our lives with? That's a great question. I have a reflection on that. I tell this story to my kids. So when I was, I don't know, my early 20s, late teens, I was very much enamored. I really liked a band that, it was a gangster rap band. And I thought they were phenomenal. And they were phenomenal for many reasons. But the problem was the words that they used and the aggression and so on was actually having an impact on how I viewed the world. It was actually having an impact on me and my mental state and so on. So I actually had to unplug from them. And that was way back, and I was proud of myself for doing that because I really like them. But it really has this, art really has this power to elevate the soul, but also to bring it down. Second question, are we using our creative talents to uplift and inspire, or simply to entertain? And I don't want to say like it's all or nothing either. Obviously, you know, we have lives, and sometimes you're in the world of entertainment and that's what you do, and that's all fine and good. So I don't want to confuse the message here that you can only do this type of art. That's not my opinion. But it's about when you're thinking about the type of art that you're going to create for the world, what does it look like and so on. And then how might our artistic expression change if we believe it functions as the conscience of society? How might that influence what we do, what we create, how we create, and so on? Okay. So the first song I'm going to do is called Voice in the Flame. Many of you will know this if you know my music. And I wanted to share this one. It's about a man named Suleiman Khan who, among thousands of other incredible heroes and heroines, sacrificed his life for his belief in the Baha'i faith. But he was very, very recognized as being someone of high mental acuity. He was brilliant. But I wanted to tie this theme into this particular song because as he was dying, so what happened is he asked to have 9 candles placed in his body, and then he lit them on fire, and then he was paraded through the streets for everyone to see this man, and then the flames would come down and they would the candles would burn down and start to burn his skin, and then he caught on fire, and then they cut him in half and hung his body parts at the gates. It's a horrible story, but it's beautiful in one sense. As he was being paraded through the streets, he was singing and dancing. He was singing and dancing. And he was singing this. He was saying, make haste. He was speaking to the flames on his body. He was singing, make haste, for from your very tongues of fire, I can hear the voice that calls me to my beloved. And I thought, oh man, that is absolutely beautiful and inspirational and so on. So we decided to write a song about that. So let me play it. Let me stop sharing. I'll Sulaiman, a song for you, the first to make me cry. How my heart stopped and paused on the beat when I learned of the way you died. If I were there on that fateful day, would I have felt or heard the voice calling to you from the fire on your skin, like a mad lover's rejoice? Recant your faith or die this day. The sovereign dealt his reign, never so long as my lifeblood continues to pulsate through my vein. Nine holes in all, that was his request, to be carved out deep in his skin. A candle in each, lit by his own hand and placed courageously within. Oh my God, what a story this is, of a man who would die for his love. The truth of his life and the power of his death, and the voices caressed him from above, from above. Led by the minstrels and drummers alike, a sight for all to behold. And his only crime, the thoughts in his mind, more precious than a world of gold. Oh my Lord, what did he say as he danced and smiled at the flames, singing out in rapture, the gallows await to cleave his body in twain. And he moved through the crowds, his body a blaze of light, enveloped by the flames, intent on consuming his life, and to live and die for his love, with a heart so pure, was his sweetest wish and his dearest hope. And he walked to his end like a conqueror. Make haste, for from your very tongues of fire I can hear a voice that calls me to my beloved. Make haste, for from your very tongues of fire I can hear the voice that calls me to my beloved. All right. Thank you. Thank you. How's Mo, how's the volume? Thumbs up? Okay. It's not okay.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Thank you. All right. Source of artistic creativity. Now this is probably, like, a lot of people will probably be like, yeah, this is quite self-evident, and that's good, but there's beautiful quotations here that I've tried to cobble together to give a bit more expression to the thinking behind the source of artistic creativity. So my claim in section 2, true creativity is not just a skill, it is a spiritual gift that flows from reflection in the unseen world. It's a spiritual gift that flows from reflection in the unseen world. So, I mean, simply stated, that the ability to create is not just a personal talent. It's not just that you're born with it, but it's a reflection of something much greater. So when a musician composes, when a painter brings colors to life, when a poet weaves words together, they're acting as channels for something divine. So let's explore that a bit. This is from Einstein. I love this. Art is standing with one hand extended into the universe and one hand extended into the world, and letting ourselves be a conduit for passing energy. Isn't that beautiful? Conduit. To me, that's a painting. Janet, maybe you can paint that. So this quotation obviously suggests that there's a bridge between the material and the spiritual world, right? And the artist's role, the artist's job, part of it is to find out, to tap into that, and to pull from that spiritual world, and bring life to that spiritual concept into the physical world. That's my personal take, anyways. So that artist becomes a channel through which universal energy flows into this tangible creative experience. This is from Abdul Baha. All art is a gift of the Holy Spirit. All art is a gift of the Holy Spirit. When this light shines through the mind of a musician, it manifests itself in beautiful harmonies. So it's not merely human effort, it's a divine gift. And when we're inspired by the Holy Spirit, we're able to create works that elevate the soul and bring beauty to the world. So capital word is referring to the revealed word of God through the different messengers and manifestations. So the word, so another word for the word is revelation. So the word is the master key for the whole world, inasmuch as through its potency, the doors of the hearts of men, which in reality are the doors of heaven, are unlocked. It is an ocean inexhaustible in riches, comprehending all things. I mean, this quote in itself is art. It's beautiful. I love it. It's so poetic. The word is the master key for the whole world. Through its potency, the doors of the hearts of men are open. So what I understand this to mean is that it's when we bring the revealed word into our artistic expressions, it really has the power to tap into the hearts. So it's the source of inspiration. It's one of the sources of inspiration. It unlocks spiritual capacities of the human heart. Here's another one. All sciences, knowledge, arts, wonders, institutions, discoveries, and enterprises come from the exercised intelligence of the rational soul. That's amazing. The rational soul. So it's our soul that is bringing these things into existence. The source of crafts, sciences, and arts is the power of reflection. All right, so let's get into that. What are we talking about when we're saying reflection? What does reflection look like? So there's probably lots of answers. My exploration of this has really taken me to this idea of meditation. And not sort of the mindfulness or the TM meditation, but meditation with a purpose, meditation where we're actually focusing on a concept, where we're asking for help, and where we're turning ourselves to the spiritual world, and we're inviting inspiration. So Shoghi Effendi says, the inspiration received through meditation is of a nature that one cannot measure or determine. It's phenomenal. Inspiration through meditation is of a nature one cannot measure or determine. So I'm not sure exactly what that means, but I know that using this reflection of meditation and turning ourselves to the spiritual world and removing these veils that get in our way and being that hollow reed, I think that's where wonders can happen. And I think that's the reason for so many great works that we've seen over the centuries. So meditation connects us to this unseen world. I had one experience in my life, I would say, maybe a few more, but one where I would say I felt that connection. It was really strong. I wrote a song on the first CD. It's called Rumi's Song. And Rumi was an incredible poet, 14th century, I believe. And anyway, I was writing a song about Rumi, and I wrote it, and so I was in a good space. You know, it was quiet. I had prayed. I was, focused, and I guess I was in the zone. I wrote this song in one pass. It was one pass, and I was done. And that's so rare for that to happen. And I didn't go back and change it. I didn't tweak it. I didn't update. Like, it was just one song, one and done. And so I feel like, for me anyways, that felt like I had got out of the way almost, right? And I was really that conduit, which I think artists really strive to be. Other sources are nature, of course. Nature is God's will. I love this. Nature is God's will and is its expression in and through the contingent world. So if we look around us, I mean, how many people, when you say, what do you do? What do you do to relax? Or what do you like to do on the weekends? Like, how many people say, I like to go for a walk. I like to go hiking in the mountains. I like to be with nature. Like, this is just something that our soul craves. And I think this is why, because nature is actually God's will and its expression throughout the world. So I think that's one of the obvious answers of why we bask in nature so much. It's definitely a source of inspiration. It definitely teaches us about the spiritual world. If we wish to be taught by God, we must study the great books of nature. The great book of nature, sorry. The whole universe is endowed with meaning. There's a quote in the Baha'i faith that says, there's a sign of God in everything. And so I think when we go out to nature and we pause and we really just look at it and consider it, what can it teach us? What are the lessons here? What are the mysteries? And that's a great resource. It's a great source of inspiration. So my key takeaways for this section: artistic inspiration is not just personal talent, it's a divine gift. Reflection and meditation are essential to accessing deeper creativity. Nature, silence, and deep thought help our souls connect us to creative inspiration beyond ourselves. And some reflection questions. If artistic inspiration is a gift from God, how are we using that gift? What can we learn from nature that we can bring into our creative expression? And how can we deepen our ability to reflect so that our creativity becomes more meaningful and inspired? Next song I'm going to do, again, many of you will know, it's called Revelation. I thought this was a good one because this is actually a direct quotation from Baha'u'llah. And he's talking about that moment when he was imprisoned in the dark pit, the Siai Chal. He was falsely accused and he was imprisoned for 4 months. And he was in the worst place you could imagine. And that's where he received his revelation. And so I thought this is interesting because that's where the divine word connected with him. And then he was able to reveal the will of God after that. So that's the connection here. So I hope you enjoy this one. During the days I lay in the prison of Tehran, though the galling weight of the chains and the stench filled air allowed me little sleep, still in those infrequent moments of slumber I felt as though something flowed from the crown of my head over my breast. Even as a mighty torrent that precipitated itself upon the earth from the summit of a lofty mountain, every limb of my body would, as a result, be set aflame. And at such moments, my tongue recited what no man could bear to hear. During the days I lay in the prison of Tehran, though the galling weight of the chains and the stench-filled air allowed me little sleep, and still in those infrequent moments of slumber I felt as though something flowed from the crown of my head over my breast. Even as a mighty torrent that precipitated itself upon the earth from the summit of a lofty mountain, every limb of my body would, as a result, be set aflame. At such moments, my tongue recited what no man could bear to hear. All right, friends. So now we're moving on. The artist as a builder of civilization. We kind of touched on this briefly at the beginning. But let's think about now, what are we doing to really contribute to the advancement of civilization, and why is this important for the artist to consider? So my claim is that artists are not just creators. They're architects of culture and shapers of the future. So what we create today influences how future generations will think, will feel, and see the world. The arts are a cultural inheritance that carries the values and aspirations of a society forward. The values and aspirations. How do we see artists? How do we see artists around us? Like, if you're an artist, is this what you're thinking? Is this your mindset? Is this your aspiration? So we have to reflect on our role as we consider the type of future that we're trying to build. So Baha'u'llah says, it is incumbent upon every man of insight and understanding to strive to translate that which hath been written into reality and action. So this for me is, it doesn't matter what trade you're in, what profession you're in, it doesn't matter what you do. But this is at the core, this is the orientation of the Baha'is. Taking what has been written and trying to translate it into reality. Taking these beautiful messages, these beautiful concepts, and seeing how can we bring that forward? And so whether you're a sculptor, a painter, a musician, how are you doing that? Art can better awaken such noble sentiments than cold rationalizing, especially among the mass of the people. Yeah. It's amazing what art can do. Again, I go back to these examples of, having 10,000 people in a room that don't know each other, and with one song or one something, they come together. They're united by something that is common. There's an attachment that art can create between people. Whereas when we just dwell in our thinking minds and we just dwell in the reason, which is good, not slamming reason, but when that becomes, actually there's another quote that I'll pull up soon, but basically the idea is that reason needs to be subservient to the heart. That's actually one of the quotes from, I think, Abdul Baha, which is really interesting in our Western civilization and maybe other civilizations, but I know the West more, where reason has really risen to be the God of everything, right? And so in the Baha'i faith, we're being called to consider actually the heart needs to be at the center, and that reason needs to be moderated by the heart. It's a very interesting concept. So art helps to convey noble ideals and elevate humanity. And it's amazing when it can create an environment of peace. It can build a feeling of empathy, of understanding, of unity. And it does that much quicker than rationalization. The well-being of mankind, its peace and security are unattainable unless and until its unity is firmly established. And I believe that artists are really part of the mechanisms, part of the folks that need to be helping to contribute to that unity. The Baha'i writings really emphasize that the power of creativity is tied to the capacity to bring people together and inspire progress. So, not just for entertainment, not just for diversion, not just for, hey, that's a good song, but even thinking beyond that. How are we bringing art into our sphere, our communities, our neighborhoods, and so on? How are we doing it to actually really elevate the experience of our community and our fellow neighbors? So artists play a vital role in shaping the moral and spiritual fabric of society. We are builders of spiritual reality. This is interesting because when we think of reality, we think of material, physical, emotional, social, and then spiritual. And I love the idea that the artist is really focused on trying to translate that spiritual reality and bring it into this world. What we create today will influence how future generations understand the world. Artists have a responsibility to use their creativity for the betterment of civilization. So again, just some questions to ponder. If art shapes the future, what kind of future are we actually helping to build? This is a question that's been on our mind and our family for many years, and especially when the kids were younger, this is at the forefront of our conversation. What kind of future are we helping to build? What is the art that we are exposing ourselves to? What is the art that the kids are exposing themselves to? And then how might it be impacting their experience of social, physical, and spiritual reality? And I think it goes without saying that much of the art that we're exposed to is not really building that elevated world that we're striving for. It's actually doing the opposite very successfully. Are we creating works that challenge people to think, grow, and elevate their understanding? And what responsibility do we have as artists and consumers of art in shaping culture? So it's kind of some ethical and moral questions to think about, either as consumers of art or as builders of art. This next song is one that I wrote, I think, on our second CD. So we talk about the role of the artist as a shaper of culture and a builder of civilization. And I think music in particular has a unique ability to unite people, to inspire action, to elevate our vision, to help contribute to shaping our reality, and so on. So this next song about Mona, who was a 16-year-old when she was arrested and 17-year-old when she was hung because of her belief, I believe that this captures in a moment this ability to inspire future generations. There's so many examples of amazing people in heroes and heroines in the Baha'i faith and far beyond that have inspired us and have helped shape the future because of their sacrifice and because of what they have done. So this one is for Mona. It's called Kiss the Rope. In the cradle of his faith, where the rivers turn to red, the sunlight softens the dark, and the shadows in their lives drift apart. She stands before her fate, and the heavens open the gates. From the darkness they are called, 10 brave women to face the end. She smiles and prays for their faith, and she knows their inner souls are filled with grace. One final chance to deny, she lifts her eyes, no is her reply. Mona, angel, resolute and strong, your smile drifts across the ages and whispers your song. Mona, the comfort they feel from your eyes, in the silence that echoes before Mona dies. In the silence that echoes before Mona dies. And she is led into the square, and all the angels have gathered there. The rope hangs down from the sky, her soul quickening prepares to fly, her heart eternally wed, a kiss for the rope that leaves her for dead. Mona, angel, resolute and strong, your smile drifts across the ages and whispers your song. Mona, the comfort they feel from your eyes, the silence that echoes before Mona dies. In the silence that echoes before Mona dies. Thank you. All right, 2 more themes. Everyone good? We good for time? All right. The role of the heart. I love this. I love this. This is my favorite theme. The claim, the most powerful art is that which speaks to the heart and awakens the soul. The heart is where true transformation occurs. True art speaks to the heart. So you can think of things like, you might not always remember a lecture or a speech or, things like that, but you'll remember that amazing song or that amazing painting that you saw. So this is where transformation begins. And it's just part of the divine design as we understand it as Baha'is, that the arts and the divine, or the divine, I should say, connect through the arts to the heart. And it's like a different language entirely. It's like the heart has its own language. Some beautiful quotes from the Baha'i faith on this one. I love this. O son of dust. This is from the hidden words of Baha'u'llah. All that is in heaven and earth, all that is in heaven and earth, I have ordained for thee, except the human heart, which I have made the habitation of my beauty and glory. Everything is made for us, humanity, except the heart, which he has made the habitation, his home, the home for his beauty and his glory. That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. That's the type of thing I would want to meditate on and kind of go, what does that actually mean? And what do I do with that? But it's beautifully, and it's very important. It's sacred. Here's another one. The home of religion is the heart. You might not think that when you look at what's going on in the world, or when you look at the yelling and the denigrating speech and everything. But the home of religion is the heart. The intellect is good, but until it has become the servant of the heart, it is of little avail. Wow, I hadn't read that one before. That blew me away. That's a big statement. The intellect is good, but until it has become the servant of the heart, it is of little avail. So how do we do that? What does that look like? What does that mean? How do we let the heart take a little more control? And then Shoghi Effendi says, we need a change of heart, a reframing of all our conceptions and a new orientation of our activities. The inward life of man, as well as the outward environment, have to be reshaped if human salvation is to be secured. And again, in my understanding, what's going to change the heart largely is going to be through the arts. That's where the transformation happens. And through reading these beautiful verses. Remember going back to that quote about the word is the master key to the hearts. So reading the writings, experiencing these artistic expressions that are elevated, and that's where the transformation can take place. So the concept here is really important because arts help us, if they're done properly, they help people to traverse great distances within a space of a few seconds. It's just like that. It's really just, it's otherworldly what's going on there. So it's through the lens of the heart that the mysteries of the universe are discovered. The more we cleanse our heart, the more receptive we will be to divine inspiration. And the arts help us to see the world with the heart, not with reason or prejudice or judgment. That's cool. The art kind of helps our hearts, helps us experience things without all of our mind and our narrative kind of getting in the way. Kind of pulls us up out of it, right? It's really quite phenomenal. 3 questions. If the heart is where transformation happens, what kind of art are we creating and consuming? So are we creating that kind of art and consuming that art that is helping our hearts transform? How can we ensure that our art speaks not only to the mind, but to the heart? And what kind of emotions and thoughts do we want to awaken in those who experience our art? So that's, I'm sure, all artists on this call think that way. What am I creating, and what am I hoping that the consumer of my artistic expression, what am I hoping they will feel from this, experience from this? What is my goal? And often that's a good place to start when you're thinking of creating something. So for me, the obvious song to do here was one that Mike wrote and Emily sings, beautiful song called Heart to Heart. And it's really about the connection that we have. So heart to heart literally means that's a great way to be communicating, to connecting with people, that there's a mysterious conversation that's happening when you share deeply with other people, and is happening at the heart. So this is a song about searching for truth and about listening with our heart, as opposed to just listening with our minds. There is a time, an age, and a season of empty words, witnessing stars that fall from the heavens of what we believe, age-old quest to find all the secrets of ages past, a desperate search for the truth of where we have been. Tell me, how would you know if you gazed into his eyes? Could you tell, would you see, even standing there face to face, of the signs once foretold in all the ancient books of old? And yet some things can be told only heart to heart. The mystic path to be sought by those who struggle to find their way, abandon all that deprives from walking the sacred way, the journey long and hard, the passage open to those who choose. And yet some things can be told only heart to heart. To see the face behind the stars, and shake off the clay, return the heart to its sacred sacred home. We have been told by many sages of the past to hold in these times a watchful light. All right, friends, we are in the last section here. Hope this has been interesting, helpful, useful in some way. The future of art and the artist's responsibility. Similar themes in this one. Every artist has a choice to create works that uplift the human spirit or to contribute to its distraction. So if we think about, I mean, again, this is in the Baha'i, my understanding of the Baha'i perspective. The goal is reuniting with our Creator. And to do that, we need to be exposed to things that will enhance our spiritual perception, increase our ability to grow virtues, and so on. And so for me, what the underlying question here is, am I creating something that might help myself and others, give them a little lift on that journey towards the Creator? Am I creating something that will create an environment where the soul is actually feeling at home, where the heart is actually feeling at home? Or am I creating an environment that is so alien to my soul that I feel disconnected? So for me, that's at the heart of this. This is our orientation. For all Baha'is, this is what we think. This is what we believe. We've all been created to carry forward an ever-advancing civilization. We haven't been created to just kind of hang out and have fun and then die and see what happens. No, we've actually been created to build a society, to do whatever we can to build the kingdom of God on earth, right? This is meant to be much more than just like a playground and a sandbox, but it's actually meant to be an experience that we can thrive in, where our souls and our virtues and stuff are actually the dominating force of society, where we're building a spiritual reality that is attuned to our soul and more attuned to revelation. So this is at the heart of our thinking. And this one, a nice compliment. Let your vision be world embracing, rather confined to your own self. So this for me was a good reminder of, am I doing art for my sake? Am I writing music just for me? Am I genuinely doing it for others? What is my intention behind it? So in other words, my vision as an artist, again, needs to be broader than just I'm doing this for me and, I want to make some money and so on. But it really needs to be thinking about a world-embracing concept rather than confined to our own selves. We're builders of culture, of thought, and of spiritual insight. Whether we do this through music, through literature, through painting, through film, we're shaping the way people feel, how they reflect, and how they engage with the world. I love this one. Material civilization is like a body without a soul, unless it be animated by the breath of the Spirit. So how do we channel that? Otherwise, it's just a car with no driver. That's it. A car is useless without a driver. If we think of the car as the material world and the driver is the soul, the car is useless. It has no life. So how do we infuse it with the soul? How do we bring these concepts into the world? The arts are among the most effective means of conveying and inspiring noble sentiments and an upright character. Isn't that interesting? That's from the Universal House of Justice. Because when I look at what I see, I'm not seeing this, right? This upright character, I'm not sure a lot of the music and the stuff I'm seeing is actually leading towards this. So we know that art can go both ways. We know it has tremendous power, but it can also be used to really cater to the material. So interesting concepts here. But if we use it right, it can really convey and inspire noble sentiments and an upright character. Key takeaways: artists have a powerful ability to bring life to the body of humanity. Art has the power to elevate or degrade. Our choices matter. Artists need to be proactive builders of our spiritual and social reality. Again, going back to the notes from that TED Talk, we can't just be passive recipients. We have to think of ourselves as builders of reality, builders of spiritual reality, not people that just write about what's happening, but actually we're creating what's happening. It's a bit of a different take on it. Questions for reflection. What kind of legacy do we as artists and consumers of art want to leave behind? How can we assure that our creative work is not just momentary, but lasting and meaningful? And are we using the power of art to build up the human spirit or simply to entertain? Friends, the last song I'm going to do is one on our latest album, Into the Fire. It's called Traces. I really like this song in particular for the lyrics, and it was it was written from a very personal place. The lyric in here is from one of the hidden words of Baha'u'llah, and it really kind of embodies this concept of detachment. So the chorus, and I'll read it for you. The hidden word of the chorus is, if thou lovest me, so this is God speaking to humanity. If thou lovest me, turn away from thyself. If thou seekest my pleasure, regard not thine own, that thou mayest die in me, and I may eternally live in thee. So I think about that. I think about that comment of the heart, which is where the beauty and glory of God wants to reside. And so I think in order to do that, one step is to do everything we can to kind of turn away from ourselves and seek the pleasure of God. So the song kind of revolves around that. And it's meant to be a song that helps us to think about what are we doing in our lives to help build a better world. So it's called Traces. There are traces, a circle in the sand, heaven spoken through the wise one's hand on the shore of oneness. I leave myself behind and step inside. There are traces, a remedy divine, living waters. He unseals the choice wine, divine healer. His finger on the pulse of all mankind. If thou lovest me, turn away from thyself. And if thou seekest my pleasure, regard not thine own, that thou mayest die in me, and I may eternally live in thee. Eternally live in thee. Unravel secrets of unity and peace, under the branches of the divine low tree, gentle breezes whispering celestial designs. And I approach the circle with its warm embrace on the shore of oneness, by the sea of grace, through rings of fire. I hold on to your hand and step inside. If thou lovest me, turn away from thyself. If thou seekest my pleasure, regard not thine own, that thou mayest die in me, and I may eternally live in thee, eternally live in thee, eternally live in thee. Thanks. It was a joy to be with you. I hope you got something out of it. It was fun for me.
I can hardly find the keys of this computer. I am so inspired that I don't know where I'm sitting and what I've heard. And since English is my second language, breath, I would like to read some of the comments on the chat. I can hardly speak English too. So
You're doing okay.
may I read the chat?
Yes.
Thank you. I can just say that this was one of the best firesides I have ever attended, and I can't find chat after 6 years. So, Dr. Valerie Dawn, Dr. Valerie Dawn Milo, Dr. Valerie Dawn Aziza, she wrote, "Breath, you are an inspirational holy teacher. Oh, thank you for sharing your loving gift. May you be blessed. Your lyrics lift our souls to the heavenly realm. Thank you for the glimpse of the divine."
Thank you, Valerie.
Dr.
Very
Valerie
sweet.
Dawn is a holy person herself. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I also would like to read, no words can truly capture the majesty of this program, its beauty, depth, and bounty that touched my heart profoundly. Thank you, dear Breath, and thank you, others.
That's very sweet. That's very sweet. Was that Maureen?
No! That was our friends from California.
Oh, nice.
And Andrew Peter wrote, "Freedom is not a matter of place, it's a condition, purity of heart chastity of soul, freedom of spirit. Thank you for sharing your journey with us.
Hmm.
So soul steering, very uplifting. Thank you so much. Such a heavenly voice. There are a lot of so beautiful and inspiring. I was lost in the music because it was so spiritually uplifting.
That's great. Thanks, Farouz. You don't have to keep reading. Thank you so much. It's
Well,
very sweet.
Brett, it's true that I listen to you when we are in the community, but here I don't listen to you. I would like you to know how much we all appreciate you.
Thank you.
Would you let me get the comments or questions, please?
Yeah.
Brett?
Yeah.
Welcome, Gary. Lovely to see you. You see,
I
other
have a
people
question.
see you. I'm sorry, could you wait if you can kindly? Oh, Molly, can you?
Yes, I have it on chat. Okay.
Oh, okay. Why don't we ask Molly to ask your question? Please, Gary, wait. Please go ahead, Molly.
There are artists express the injustice in their works, showing war, poverty, racism, etc. Does this cause to transform people to affect the soul? It is difficult to see this type of art more than just enjoying love and beautiful paintings, which is uplifting to the soul. So, this type of expression of injustice, does that change people to do something about it? Is it influential in that respect?
Thank you, Molly. Are you finished?
Yes, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
You're very welcome. Welcome, Nancy. Thank you.
Hey, Molly, if I understood your question, the question was if I'm seeing injustices in the world that I believe are unjust, is that another source of inspiration? And is it okay to create based on that injustice and share that? Is that the gist of your question? You're muted. Sorry, you're muted.
Like some artists, like Picasso, he showed the war and all the injustice.
Yeah.
So people are inspired. Does that
Yeah.
affect the soul that they want to change? Is
Yeah.
that one way to show that for change?
I believe so. 100%. I believe so. I think those are great. In fact, all of the music of Smith and Dragoman is stems from injustices that were, meted out on these poor folks. So, 100%, I believe that is a good use of art.
Thank you.
Thank you for asking.
You, Molly.
Gary.
Well, Brett, just give me I have to just hold my heart in because I don't know how many know, but I was in prison. I was in prison for 20 years, 6 months, 25 days, and 11 hours. I've been out for 21 months now.
Wow.
Exile, Brett. Exile was a song that is stapled on my heart.
Oh, yeah.
Those words, to recount that I'm a sinner, Baha'u'llah has forgiven me. But what Baha'u'llah went through for us is so captured in that song. And it is something that has anchored my faith beyond my words. Just that song. I had a playlist with that song on there forever. It was just strictly, there was days I had days of silence. That's the only song that I listened to. I had different playlists with Ali Yusufe, various artists, but each one of you I had a collective playlist, but I had that song Exile that played over and over and over. And it just was a constant reminder to, to serve, because what Baha'u'llah gave for us to just sit in this space right now. So to be talking to you, be sitting here, I've been in spaces with you before. And I don't know if you even played Exile tonight. I was on the road and I jumped on, but that is my stapler song, man. And I just want to thank you and the Spirit definitely guided you throughout that song. So thank you, my brother, and Yah Baha'u'llah. Love you beyond word. And to just be able to sit here and say this, because in that place, it could go left there's no guarantee of coming out of there. But that was one of the things that brought such tranquility and joy to my heart in there. So I just wanted to thank you, my brother. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that. That is, I mean, that's the heart. There's the heart connection, man. What a beautiful and sad story, but I'm happy it helped in some way. And yeah, I'd love to connect with you, man. I'd love to connect with you.
You know, Brett, Gary
Here's my email.
sings beautifully himself. He will probably in 5 hours, when we finish the fireside, he will say a prayer and you can hear
Nice.
him.
I can't wait.
beautifully.
Can't wait. Thank you, Gary. Appreciate that. Beautiful.
Was there any more questions?
I was wondering if the Exile is a song. I was just looking for it on YouTube. Is it a song?
Yeah, if you look
Like,
on like
It's-
Spotify or iTunes, it's a song. It's on the second CD. Yeah, it's
Oh,
a Smith and Dragoman song on the second CD.
Sand Dragon. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Brett, would you like to sing what Gary just talked about?
You know, I was thinking you might do that for us.
And look at Oliver. Just look
Yeah,
at Oliver. And look at his wife, Janet.
It's been a
Yes.
long time.
June, it's so wonderful to see you here and June together. It gives a sense of family, all of us together. Really, really. Gibby, you, Sylvia, Gary, Pina, all of you, Dr. Smith, Mame, all of you. It's wonderful to see you all here.
It's been a long time. Let me just give me 30 seconds. Just talk amongst yourselves for a second. I want to make sure I can do this. Shala, please.
June, before Nancy, welcome. This is the first time I'm seeing you in our gathering. You're more than welcome. So if you want to be added to our mailing list, by all means, either leave your email for me or copy my email. You know, Gary has his email as his name under his picture. Gary, that's wonderful. We love you, Gary. Smile.
I'll put it in the chat. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. June, go ahead, please.
I just want to say it's been for years I've been hearing you, and I never get tired of it. I have to
Thanks,
say
Shala.
that. It's your music and the way you use the writings, it makes us think of where we should go next.
Mm.
But I'm wondering if you have done anything with the kids,
Mm-hmm.
and is it on YouTube?
The one that's on YouTube is called Mo, what's the song I did with Asher?
I thought you were trying to think of our kids' names.
No, I'm not. We're trying to remember my kids' names. Sorry. So Shala, yes. So all the kids play guitar and piano and a bit of percussion. Music was like just everywhere in the house all the time. And Asher, the oldest, is actually really going very deep into the world of music, and an exceptional talented young man right now. So yeah, so keep your eyes out for Asher Smith. He'll be doing good things. And he helped me on one song, which is on YouTube. It's on my channel.
Brett,
Sorry, babe?
Gentle Winds.
Yeah, thank you. It's called Gentle Winds. And it's based off a quote from Baha'u'llah. If it be thy pleasure, make me to grow as a tender herb in the meadow of thy grace. It's that one. I love that one. That the gentle winds of thy will may stir me up and bend me into conformity with thy pleasure. So yeah. And so all the piano on that is him and the production's him. So yeah, he's doing great stuff. Thanks for asking, Shala.
Sure.
Okay, I'm gonna try this. If that's and Gary, I hope this is okay for you, man, because I literally haven't sung this in like 5 years. So take it with a grain of salt. Your life is exile, sorrow and banishment, homeless and weary. You walk through the snow. 4 months the journey from Tehran to Baghdad. They thought they could rid you, but what did they know? 10 years in Baghdad, your message would take hold. Rise up, the leaders, they're losing control. A word from the Sultan, now you must leave here to Constantinople. You do as you're told. Locked behind walls, veiled from the world, no exile would darken your light. For 40 years you were under decree, and why they never looked into your eyes. One 1,000 miles, the sun unforgiving, no rest for weariness, the pain you endure. Arrival in Turkey, but soon they will fear you to Adrianople. Your intentions are pure. Locked behind walls, veiled from the world, no exile would darken your light. For 40 years you were under decree, and why they never looked into your eyes. 5 years in that land, countless afflictions, attempting to stop you because it would grow. One final exile, a prison of darkness, a journey to Akka, again you must go. Thanks. Hope that was all right, Gary. All right. Shahnaz.
Hello, Hapa.
Hello, Appa.
So much thanks to you for joyful music and your presentation. I have question about the song for Mona.
Yes.
Do you have video that song? I have song. I shared with my Baha'i friend, is my American Baha'i friend. It is possible, and they put the Baha'i Zoom, Baha'i.Zoom group. If it's possible, I have that song.
Yes.
Brett, I would be more than glad to do that if you I can find your Mona
And just cut it? Yeah, sure.
yeah, and
That
I can send it to Shahnaz Khanum.
that would be, yeah, that would make sense. That would
Can
be
you?
very open.
I appreciate so much. May you get my WhatsApp? Can you send to direct or you put the bahaizoom.com or direct to my WhatsApp? I appreciate it is possible. Can you see my number on the Shahnaz Samandari?
Yeah,
My
Shahnaz Khanum, I will definitely find you. We are in different meetings together, and I will take care of that for you. No worries. All
I
of that.
appreciate so much.
You're
Thank
very
you.
welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Joyful song and joyful presentation. Thank you.
Thank you,
much.
Shahnaz.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Louise and Bob, how's Belize and Brett Smith together?
It is marvelous here.
Yes. Yes.
It's they went through a tropical storm, but this tropical storm has now ended, and the people here are just all so lovely. Today, I went into a store, and a little boy had come home at lunch hour, and he was picking up some candy before he returned to school, and he was singing so beautifully. You would have loved him.
Mm.
And
Nice.
I made a comment. I said, "That's the most beautiful thing I've heard today." He had the biggest smile on his face. I'm sure nobody tells him how wonderful it is that he's only 5 and he's singing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
wonderful.
So this is how it is in this little, we're in Hopkins Bay, and it's
Yeah,
in,
yeah.
yeah, it's fishing village.
Nice.
Mhm.
Beautiful. Are you on a vacation or did you move?
We had thought about moving in the past, but I think now we're going to stay in Canada. But no, we're here to serve and to have a vacation.
Yeah,
Oh, nice, nice.
at the same time.
Well,
Yeah.
we should all come down for a visit, no?
For sure.
Yeah, we'd love to have you.
For sure. We love
all of you.
Yeah.
Let's
just
do it,
bring your-
everybody. Let's do it.
Bring your air mattress and everybody can fit in this house.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Sounds good.
What a blessed evening. I mean,
Mm.
what do you think, Oliver, Janet? What do you think?
I'm so thankful. Can you hear us?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm so thankful that we got to be here and sharing this beautiful experience. And so thankful for Brett for the thoughtful presentation and all the ways of kind of reawakening artistry back into my heart. And actually, Brett, you know, getting to know you over the years and the privilege of calling you a friend and seeing how you are constantly picking up your guitar, standing up to the mic and sharing your art and your message and your faith. It's been a huge reason why I've picked up my guitar and I've decided to sing every chance that I get. So I teach these yoga classes throughout the week, and ever since meeting you and getting to know you and watching your example, speak of, are using your creations to uplift the human spirit. For me, I bring a guitar with me every time now.
Oh,
Before it was
awesome.
very sporadic. It was very just out of the blue. And I'm just like, if I have a gift and I can help uplift people's spirits with music, I'm going to share it every chance that I get. And just yesterday, someone took my yoga class and she said that was so, like, I was having such a good day. I didn't know if it was going to get any better. And it was like a late night class, and I sang just a beautiful song for her at the end, or for the class at the end. And she said she was in tears after. And so I could connect that dot to you.
Oh, I love
and
that
your
story.
example.
Thank you for sharing that, Oliver. I love that.
Oliver, I thought you were Brett's brother. Look exactly like each other. Why are you
Yeah.
saying you're a friend?
And I'm your son.
Ah, yes, exactly. That's true.
So funny.
I wanted to share something on in the chat. Laura Lynn, thank you for staying.
I want to
Oh,
share
Janet wanted to say
something.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to say, Brett, thank you for, it's so beautiful how just the music, the vibration of your music, and bringing that, like you said, injustices and pain that these people went through to stand up for their own truth and their faith, and to really bring that into, I love the word alchemy. I feel like that's what art is often. It's our hardships or grievances, sometimes beauty and love and stuff, but I feel like what moves the soul often is birthed from such darkness or from such tragedy. And I feel like as you were singing, well, for one, I was reminded of just my own creativity. I've been going through a very dark night of the soul, and it's been hard for me to create in that space.
Yeah.
And so I love moments where I feel my channels are more open, and through your music, I was actually getting visions, to be honest, of things that I'm supposed to be making. And so it reminded me of, the God force that's always there. It's just sometimes, like you said, it can feel a little dormant, or we're kind of in a incubation kind of time, or,
Yeah.
period. But it was so beautiful. I was actually getting impressed with visions through your songs. And I feel like what a way to also, I guess, highlight alchemy, pain into art and beauty, to help us get through and to raise consciousness, to have Gary share his expression of how that got him through, such an intense experience. And that was just like a perfect ending. I felt like it just kind of wrapped it up like a bow of just everything you spoke to in your presentation, of just how when we answer the call and we create beauty, that could be a moment that helps someone get through something they didn't think they would ever make it through. And it reminded me of a moment I kind of had with someone who purchased a print of mine of one of my paintings once. And I remember her review was so moving to me, because she said, like, looking at that helped her get through like COVID when she was in the hospital.
Yeah.
And she would just look at it, and it would just like inspire her to have hope. And I think that's just, it's so powerful. So what a beautiful, so happy we came. It was meant to be. And I knew I needed the rekindling of my own heart flame. And so thank you. You're making me cry now. I love you guys.
That's how I roll. That's how I roll. Thanks for sharing. Jenna, that's
you come and speak in our fireside, I promise you will be so inspired. What do you think?
Oh,
Of course.
I get it.
Yeah, they will.
Sorry, go ahead, Brett.
No, I was just gonna say, not to one up you, Janet, but just to the point of, like, we really never know what our music or our art or what it will do for someone else. I had somebody recently write me on their deathbed, and they said, I mean, this is a story about faith ultimately, but they said that they had really lost their way, and this person had been a Baha'i for many, many years, and then had lost his way and so on, and then started listening to some of our music, and he was in the hospital, and he said he just broke down crying, and and anyways, it pulled him back to believing in the faith and Baha'u'llah and God and so on. And so I was just like, this is amazing. He's in Vancouver. It's like, this just is amazing. You never know what you create, how it will elevate, how it will bring solace to somebody, right? And so to your point, Oliver, like, if you have the ability to create, then create. You never know how it's going to touch somebody. I had another person email a few years ago, and his son was about to commit suicide. And then, I don't know, he got hold of the music or something, and it just transformed him. So I'm not making this about me. I'm making it about, we have a responsibility to create if we have that capacity, and to put it out there, because you never know who's going to need that thing that you created at that time. So thanks for sharing that.
I have to go now, but I wanted to say a personal thanks to you, Brett, and let you know that you almost make me want to become a Baha'i. Thank you so much.
I
You're very
asked
welcome.
her to stay because she wanted to leave 20 minutes ago.
Go, yeah.
I said, wait.
Okay, I'm just waiting to tell him that. Thank you so much. It was
All right.
inspirational. Thank
Thank
you.
you, Lurleen.
Thank
Take
you.
care. Thanks for
Bye,
coming.
everyone.
We love you, Lurleen.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
I'll be back. Thanks.
Okay, bye.
How do I get out now?
Friends, it was such an evening. It was such a beautiful evening. I feel totally at home. I'm back home. Is there any other? Gary, how come you're so quiet? You know, let us share this. Gary, may I share the good news with
No,
everyone?
we're gonna absorb in
Okay.
this moment, please.
Okay.
Thank you. No,
You're very
it is. I just, yeah, again, just the last little nugget about, see, it's easy for us to sit in this space and really enjoy it, but in a steel cage where not even sunlight gets in some days, and you're talking 900 to 1,000 people in the most grievous conditions of despair and hopeless is all around the place, and how your music cut through that. And it wasn't just me, there were people that would hear it and would be, we'd be at a table listening to it, and what it did, what it does, continues to do. And again, unknown. So this is also a testament of God being a prayer hearing, prayer answering God. For me to sit here in this moment, to share this with you, because it's beyond any prayer I could have prayed, to just even have the bounty of saying thank you to you. So it is, God is God. So no matter what you're going through in this life, remember you're going through it, but God is absolutely God. He's an absolute God, no maybe. And it's obedience and clinging to the hem of his robe, no matter what this world throws at you.
Love that.
Thank you.
Gary. Thank you.
I wanted to say that you have a very unique voice. It's like the voice of the heart. A lot of people, have a nice voice and sing beautiful, but there's something very special about your voice. It's like the voice of the heart and the soul, and I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you
for giving us the gift this evening. Thank you.
Nancy, Gibby, is there any comment? Gibby, any question?
Brett, I just want to thank you for a splendid evening. And I also want to tell you, our dog Cooper loves your music a lot. It moves the human heart, but it also moves the animal spirit too.
Yeah.
They sure love it.
Thanks, Dad. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Cooper.
You got to do this at the ABS conference. So it's spectacular, really. Yeah. So we'll talk about it. Thank you so much, Brett.
Thanks.
I hopped on a little late, Brett, but I did hear what you were saying about art, the artist, and it so resonates with me. I feel like as artists, we are leading the charge in transformation of the human heart and the human spirit, and who will be bringing in this one humanity and having people recognize their own creativity. And we as human beings, we are like the ultimate creative entities, because we were created by the ultimate creator.
Yeah.
So it is it's all in us. And we almost have to create, even if we don't think of ourselves as artists per se. What we do in our lives is a kind of creativity, because it's just how we were made. But when you recognize a certain kind of artistic gift that you have, that is divinely innate in you, I believe wholeheartedly you have the responsibility to use it and share it and make it a transformative practice and energy and unifying element. So thank you so much. And your voice is absolutely beautiful.
Thank you, Nancy. Thank you for that comment. I love that.
Gibby?
How can I refuse you, my dear sister? I had all kinds of thoughts. Now they all went away. Well, I'm so moved. I'm so moved. I'll never look at music the same way again. My parents took all their children for music lessons. We started with piano, then we have to add other instruments. So, but what Brent said, what I heard this evening is that I should put my ego aside and do it from my heart, to give to people instead of impress people.
Yeah.
And
That's tough.
and when I play, I'll do it differently. So thank you. I don't want to elaborate on that, but since Feroz always forces me to talk,
I know, she's good at that.
sometimes I'm thinking, oh, this is silly. But anyway, thank you so much. I'm just so touched.
Thanks, Gibby. I love that comment. Yeah, the ego is a beast to contend with, especially as an artist. So, well, in all aspects of life, but as artists, that's a tough one. So, good for you.
Any more comments?
Yes, I want to say that that Brett did a wonderful, magnificent transformation for Gary Billard. Gary went through so much in his life, and yet he's such an illumined Baha'i. He's so special and spiritual, and I'd love to hear more about his life because he's so articulate in his feelings and his love for Baha'u'llah.
Thanks for sharing.
Molly, I
Love
just
that.
wanted you to know that Gary and someone else that I'm not going to name the name will give will give a fire. I didn't say anything. Why are you looking like that, Gary? So they will give a fireside together, and I'll make sure that we will advertise it early enough, Molly.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, they will talk about very good things and a lot of changes.
Wonderful. Looking forward to it. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. I would like to welcome Ms. Bowman here. And when I said that about the brotherhood to you, Brett, Roya Jan, thank you for opening your camera. Roya wrote, we are all connected and we are all related. So it is not only you and Oliver, but all of us.
Yeah. That's absolutely.
Roya, any comments?
All my relations.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Bet.
I just
to
want to
see
say hi to Brett.
Hey, Roya, good to see you.
From the old days at the Social and Economic Development Conference
Yeah.
to have in Orlando. So that's where Brett and I interacted. And of course, Smith and Dragoman were there and did wonderful, wonderful things for us. So I just wanted to say hello and express my appreciation for your music and your service. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. It's a pleasure. Good to see you.
Dale, please go ahead. Unmute yourself.
Yes, I wanted to let Brett know that my landlady, Cynthia, has been very inspired by your music. Smith and Jackman. Yeah, she particularly loved some of the songs on Into the Fire. So it was, just wanted to let you know.
I love that. I love Cynthia. Give Cynthia a big hug from me, okay?
I will do that.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing, Dale. That's really sweet.
Yeah.
Love Cynthia. All right, Feroz, I think we're good, no?
Let me ask one more question. Everybody is sitting here. I know you're very tired. But
No,
that was
it's
one of the best firesides, and also Oliver and Janet are laughing and smiling and having a good time
yeah.
because I'm giving you such a hard time. But but you see, he is the Smith family moved to Oakville more than 10 years ago, and Oakville was never the same. Oakville was never the same. And I always, let me.
Of education, the education that a holistic lifestyle. So I don't know if you have used your music or are you writing in that area.
I haven't. Totally transparently, that hasn't been on my radar, where in my experience where I am and so on. Yeah, very interesting. And it's sad to hear that people are dropping out, and if there's a way for music to inspire them. But I don't know, I'll have to make that connection, Shala, and see.
Because Getty Foundation, I did a master's art in education. Getty Foundation funds it. It's
Yeah.
using the art to develop curriculum. I
Yeah.
wonder if you have used yours or
Yeah.
would consider.
I would consider. I haven't thus far, but I'm open to anything that will help anything.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brett. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, I'll say goodbye, everyone. Thanks again. Great to be with you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Roya Jun, stay behind. The friends who would like to continue, Pina. And Nancy, we always have a portion of prayer after that, in case you would like to stay with us.
I'll stay for a little while. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Gary, smile. Thank you. Okay, are you here, Mr. Perimal? We didn't see your face at all tonight, so we might not send you the invitation for next week. Pina, would you like to unmute? Mr. Perimal in green. So, Pina, would you like to start with the prayers, but not Farsi, any other language? And then we have Mr. Perimal, Roya, Nancy, if you want to be included in the prayers, Gary, and everyone else, you're more than welcome. Go ahead, Pina.
Okay, I would like to dedicate this prayer to Adore Newman. She has served as a secretary of the National Spiritual Assembly of the Philippines for many, many years. And today she passed away. I believe it's about heart disease. Oh my God, O thou forgiver of sins, bestower of gifts, dispeller of afflictions, verily I beseech thee to forgive the sins of such as have abandoned the physical garment and have ascended to the spiritual world, and have ascended to the spiritual world. O my Lord, purify them from trespasses, dispel the sorrows, and change the darkness into light. O my Lord, purify them from trespasses, dispel their sorrows, and change the darkness into light. Cause them to enter the garden of happiness. Cleanse them with the most pure water, and grant them to behold thy splendor soon, the loftiest mount. cause them to enter the garden of happiness. Cleanse them with the most pure water, and grant them to behold thy splendors on the loftiest mount. Abdul Baha, Abdul Baha.
O thou omnipotent Lord, we are all helped with the mighty grasp of thy power. Thou art our supporter and our helper. Grant us thy tender mercy, bestow upon us thy bounty. Open the portals of grace and cast upon us the glance of thy favor. Let a revering breeze waft over us, and quicken thou our yearning hearts. Illumine our eyes and make the sanctuary of our heart the envy of every blossoming flower. Rejoice every soul and gladden every spirit. Reveal the ancient power and make manifest thy great might. Cause the birds of the human soul to soar to new heights, and let thy confidence in this nether world fathom the mysteries of thy kingdom. Set firm our steps and bestow upon us unwavering hearts. We are sinners, and thou art the ever forgiving. We are thy servants, and thou art the sovereign Lord. We are homeless wanderers, and thou art our heaven and refuge. Graciously aid and assist us to diffuse thy sweet savors and exalt thy word. Elevate the stations of the dispossessed and bestow the inaccessible treasury upon the destitute. Vouchsafe thy strength unto the weak and confer heavenly power upon the feeble. Thou art the provider, thou art the gracious, thou art the Lord who ruled over all things. Abdul Baha.
O thou beloved of my heart and soul, I have no refuge save thee. I raise no voice at dawn save thy commemoration and praise. Thy love encompasseth me, and thy grace is perfect. My hope is in thee. O God, give me a new life at every instant, and bestow upon me the breaths of the Holy Spirit at every moment, in order that I may remain steadfast in thy love, attain unto great felicity, perceive the manifest light, and be in the state of utmost tranquility and submissiveness. Verily, thou art the giver, the forgiver, the compassionate. Abdul.
would like to recite a prayer of the Bab, the gate, and then I will sing it in German. Say, God sufficeth all things above all things, and nothing in the heavens or in the earth but God sufficeth. Verily he is in himself the knower, the sustainer, the omnipotent. Sprich, Gott schenkt Genüge in allen Dingen und über die Dinge hinaus. Gott schenkt Genüge in allen Dingen und über die Dinge hinaus. Und nichts auf Erden und in den Himmeln außer Gott kann Genüge geben. Nichts auf Erden und in den Himmeln außer Gott kann Genüge geben. Wahrlich, ist in sich selbst der Wissende, der alle halte, der Allmächtige.
Oh, my Lord and my Master. Oh, my desired one and my beloved and the beloved of all that are in the heavens and on the earth. I beseech thee, I beseech thee to grant from the ocean of thy knowledge in the day star of thy heavenly grace, that I may be cursed, reviled, and denounced a myriad times for the sake of thy love. That these ears of mine may but once be blessed by hearing thy sweet words. Verily, thou art of the people of Baha. Verily, thou art of the people of Baha. Verily, thou art of the people of Baha.
Friends, thank you for creating such a beautiful space. Thank you so much Nancy, it was wonderful having you here tonight. I don't know who sent you the invitation, but from now on, I will do it myself.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Roya Jun, thank you for being with us tonight. Gibi, 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 gibi. I love you. Pina, thank you, thank you, thank you for everything. Dale, thank you for sharing tonight with us. Gary, you'll be the last. Mali June, thank you for being here. Shahla June, the same. Mr. Perimal, this has been the 5th sessions that you did not join us. I just have a list and I write on it, you know? Mr. Perimal, do you get me? Mr. Perimal from Mr. Perimal, refresh my memory.
I'm in Australia.
Mr. Perimal, all the way from Australia, even when it is inconvenient, he's always with us. Thank you so much. Kathy John, thank you for being here. Neely John, thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you to all of you who are here. And Gary, thank you for your beautiful prayer sessions on Friday nights. It's such a beautiful evening. It goes very late and I stay awake. Thank you. And please give my love to all your friends who participate in that devotional. Tell them that we love them. You might be able to invite them to the fireside if you wish.
Can I ask Roya June if she's related to Shirin Bowman?
No,
She was the mother of the Baha'is of India.
right. No, no, my father's last name is Bauman. He's from a Jewish background from Eastern Europe.
Every time I see you, I think of her. She,
Oh, well, that's nice. I'm flattered.
was so kind to the children of New Era.
Right, of course.
And
By the
all
way, I
the
just put
Thank you.
I just put the flyer for Gary's Friday night prayer jams in the chat. So it's
Sure.
10 p.m.
on my
Eastern.
Facebook.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes, yes. Gary is mine, for God's sake.
Thank you. My heart is full. My heart is full. I'm just overjoyed. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. Gary, I could have said much more than this, but you didn't want me, so I
Thank
did.
you.
But
Thank you.
Gary has good news coming to him.
Thank you.
But I won't say what.
Thank you very much.
Dear friends, I need to copy the chat, and I can't do it unless I say goodbye to you, but I can't close this page. May I say goodbye and see you next week? I'll be away
Yes.
for a month, but please do come. I think Maureen and Brett will chair, and we have fantastic speakers. So I'll be back March the 4th. I will miss you and see you soon.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Aloha. Aloha,
Aloha.
everyone. Aloha.
Take care.
Bye,
Aloha.
Gibby. I love you, Gibby. Bonsoir.
Bruce, I have a question for
She
you.
stole the whole world now. You all know.
We're all related, you know. Roya said, yes, go ahead, Gary John.
You made a recording of this tonight. Is that going to be available?
Yes, I put the link in the chat. It is Baha'is of Oakville on YouTube. But yes, definitely.
Could you please send it directly to me, please?
Absolutely.
The recording, I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, sure.
Thank you.
Can I
Love
say-
you all.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Aloha. Aloha.
Can I
Aloha.
say a word to Gary?
Yes.
Gary?
Yes.
Okay. The courage you had. Sorry. Oh, Gary.
I'm here.
the courage you had to share that story with us. I had no idea. But you know, Gary, most of us are in prisons our entire life, a different kind of prison.
Mhm.
Oh, you know, if you have skills and things that to get me out in my head,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? You're helping us so much.
Well,
I'm so
Baha'u'llah
proud of
said,
you. I'm so proud of you.
Baha'u'llah said, we've made abasement the garment of glory. It's not my glory, it's his glory. And it's not for me, it's to share to those fragmented souls. I didn't want to be here anymore. I attempted to take my life, and he spared me. And not to mention the experience, and it's to share for fragmented souls that God is God, most loving, ever forgiving, and most merciful. And so I just have to share. So there's no shame in my heart, because it's all about God and the power when you cling to the hem of his robe, that there's just nothing. This world, it matters not. Before I was trying to squeeze in man's box, but Baha'u'llah said he created me noble, and that's what I walk in now. So minus all the trauma and those things that led me down dark corridors, but I stand here with my love for Baha'u'llah because Baha'u'llah loves me so. That's why I'm here. So I'm grateful, and I promise with my last breath I'm going to serve him. So that's the goal, to serve Baha'u'llah. So
You're doing it. Thank you.
thank you all. Thank you all for your love.
Okay, bye everyone.
Aloha pa. Aloha pa.
Bye, Kathy.
Aloha pa.
Bye, Pino John. Love you.
Janam.
Bye. Bye, 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 Kathy. Bye, iPhone. Love you.